You have tuned in to the Bernard Williams Stay in Your Lane podcast. I am your host, Olympic and world champion, and the funniest Olympic champion on the planet, Bernard Williams. And for today's episode, number 26, no, I think this is episode 27, we have a special guest, a good friend of mine. He is not only a world champion, he is also a six-time Olympian. He is also a five-time world championship medalist. More importantly, he is full of knowledge and a great human being. And so I'm talking about the none other than Kim Collins from St. Kitts. What up, Danny? Glad you could join me on the other account. This is going to be a great episode. Yeah, I got my Baltimore Ravens here, y'all. I don't know if y'all could tell or not. There you are, Kim. Let's see if we work now. Yeah, it's going to be a great episode because this is one of my natural-born sprinter brothers here. And when I say natural, that's what I mean.
Okay, so we good?
Yes, we are good.
All right, here we go.
All
Can you see me
right, here we go, man. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen who have tuned in, my guest for the Bernard Williams Stay in Your Lane podcast. This is 2003 world champion. This is six-time Olympian, five-time Olympic medalist, all the way from St. Kitts. This is none other than Sir Kim Collins.
Very kind, sir. But I didn't get the Olympic medals, but thanks for giving it to me. You know what? Sometimes you think you deserve it.
No, I said six-time Olympian.
Yeah.
Five-time world championship medalist.
Right.
Yes.
7, but nobody's counting.
That's right. Hey, I'm counting.
Yeah, it was 7. Indoors, well, most people don't know about the men's 200 Edmonton 2001.
Yes.
Lane 1.
Lane 1.
Lane 1. 2020 out of lane 1, boy. I
Tell me how was that to be able to medal in lane 1?
It was one of those days where you just say, you know what, I don't give a nothing. It's on today.
And you were more
yourself,
known as a 100-meter guy. This was the 200, correct?
Yeah, but that was my first medal. But the thing was, it was one of those days where one of your legs were gonna have to fall off before you quit.
Yeah.
It was one of those days, man. And you just gotta be in that mind frame that, you know what, I'm tired of losing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now who is Kim Collins?
Oh, wow. Very complicated question. Well, you gotta understand, before, my big break in track and field, I've done pretty much everything. And my kids are annoyed to hear it sometimes, because Daddy was a gardener, a painter, a plumber, electrician, worked at the island's power plant, worked for politics. And I did everything except security and mechanic.
Nice.
And these days, like, since my retirement, I call myself Farmer Kim, because I believe in eating from the earth.
Nice.
Everybody is different, but if you believe in Christianity, first thing God gave us was a garden.
Right.
Yeah. So I plant every and anything I can, man, in abundance.
Now tell me more about you said you love farming. Tell me more about your upbringing in St. Kitts. What was that like?
Man, it was an adventure, because those days anything was a toy, whether it's a box, a wheel from a vehicle, plane was something that it was a part of life. And a crazy thing is, like, my primary school was across the street from our park where we played football. And there were some trees along the side of the wall. And the trick was, you're going to go on one end and climb up the tree. And you don't come down until you reach the other end. You would climb from tree to tree like a monkey. Oh, and man, the coolest guy, forgive me, the coolest guys were the guys who actually broke an arm and had a cast. He's like, oh my God, you broke your arm. That is, you were the coolest guy to break an arm.
Oh man.
Because
Now,
you earned that right to have a broken arm. You know, we know you fell out of a tree.
oh man. Now,
Yeah.
how did you get from St. Kitts to Central Arizona for school?
Well, okay. I have to water it down for all of this. Okay. Long story short, after running in the 1996 Olympics, I won 10:27.
Yes.
And a friend of mine, Coach Eric Francis, a lot of people know him and see him around on the circuit. He actually looked up the school, and I have to be honest, one of his athletes got the opportunity first because he wasn't my coach at the time.
Mm.
And the guy didn't want to go. And then he went to a second person, and he didn't want to go.
Mm.
And he came to me, which was the third person in line. And I made the sacrifice of leaving to go to Central Arizona when my ex was pregnant with my first baby, which was due in February, and I left in January. So I made my sacrifice missing out on those early days of my son. And the coach said, because the thing was, the coach said, if you have a guy that run this time, there's no way he could be at home doing nothing. So Coach Van Hazel offered the scholarship at Central Arizona.
Yes.
And I was there.
Now, what made you choose TCU?
Well,
for your
that was a decision that was based on me wanting to do good. Why I say that, I was not bragging, but I was offered scholarship to tons of school.
Yes.
I could have gone to Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, California, anywhere. But most of them had one good athlete or no good sprinter. No disrespect to them. At the time, that was the case. And when I looked at TCU, you know, they had Davis Patton there who beat me before. And you had Flash Ricardo Williams who beat me before. And you had Lyndall Frater who beat me before. And I said, you know what? I'm going to come here and this is going to be fun. Because I came to complete the team. But also I came to show dominance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what was some of the challenges you went through when you were in college at TCU?
No, TCU was sweet. The challenges was in the junior college where I thought was a full scholarship, but it wasn't. And
Okay.
I got a bill, say I owe money that I didn't know about. And then I started to work from 10 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. Class at 8 o'clock, taking 20 and 21 credit hours per semester. I was taking so many classes, I ended up with 2 degrees from Central Arizona.
Nice.
But that place was, that did a whole show by itself. But, you know, it was tough. And I think the 2 things that I point out to the people close to me about is that, number one, I never called my mother and told her what I was going through. I know she would say, son, I didn't bring you for that, come home. And the other thing was, at one point, you know, during Thanksgiving, like now, everybody's gone and I'm supposed to get meal money and I didn't get it. And my roommate, you know, he left food in the room and that's how I survived. And years later, I looked him up on Facebook and I said, man, you have no idea how you saved my life back then. Because he didn't even miss the food. You know, there were some kids that were a little bit more privileged than us. We come all the way from the islands on a one-way ticket, not sure how and when we're going to go back. So the thing was, you know, that dude saved my life, and I did let him know years down the road that, man, thanks to your little food that you left, you know, I was able to move on.
Man, that is so dope. Now, you are a world champion, 2003 100-meter world champion in Paris. Can you take us through that moment?
Well, I always tell people the crazy thing about that is, like, every time I remember that race, every time I go over that race, I remember something different. But I always tell people, like, especially some of the guys who were in the race, go back and watch the heats. You see who's ready. And people don't understand the way you need to know your competitors. You watch them, you watch the mannerism, you watch the antics, as we call it. You see who's on the bed too long, who's getting a massage too long, who's not warming up properly. And you know when they're on the game or not. So if you race an individual enough, you will know when this person is ready or not. And that's when you get them. So in the finals, I know a lot of people wasn't ready. They weren't ready. They were just out of it. And I was like, okay, dude, time to go. And I know the situation, a lot of people talk about the situation with Drummond.
Yes.
The situation with Drummond, you know, a lot of people thought that that put some other persons off the game. But, you know, we can't speak to that. We don't know. But in life, a little rain will fall.
Now, when you won your title, who was your coach during that time?
Yeah, I was with Coach Mills at the time. Of course, it's the same coach with as you saying both. Yeah, I was with him at the same time.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, what other sports did you play besides track and field?
Well, in my early days, I tried to do cricket. They made me a
Cricket.
fielder. Cricket, yeah, it's an island thing.
Okay.
I didn't get to touch the bat. I was like, peace, this is not for me. Tried to play football, made the football team, and
Yes.
I was on the bench the whole season. And I was like, I did not come here to warm the benches. This is not for me. Of course, I couldn't try basketball because that was just like way above my. So the basketball wasn't for me. So eventually, you know, when I did try the track and field, I realized how much you can do this and you're less relying on people. Now, when you're in a team sport, it can be very subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach can use all kind of things to say why he don't think you deserve to be on the team. But in track and field, if you run it, it's obvious you're the winner, and if you jump further than anybody, and you jump higher than anybody, and if you throw the implement, well, it's a javelin shot put further than anyone.
Right.
You can't cheat that.
So
I mean, there are other ways of cheating, but you can't cheat the obvious.
Right. Now, how old were you when you started track?
Well, I tried in primary school, and of course, I didn't get to run because I wasn't the favorite guy. There's favoritism everywhere, man. And then I tried again.
So you started when you were a teenager?
Well, I tried again as a teenager in high school.
Okay.
And that is when things really got better. But I was in what we call junior high.
Okay. Middle school. Okay, gotcha.
Well, it would be junior high would be grade 7 and 8.
Got you.
And then high school started from 9.
Right.
But
got you.
How the system worked back then, if you were not bright, you would not make it to high school. So we kept the time racers out. So you would find there would still be people in junior high who were good. But when I got to high school is when I showed a little bit of progress and realized, you know, if you're fast guy, get the girls, get the girls, you know. So, yeah.
Cool. Now, did your parents, did they participate in track? Or is this something that they kind of passed down to you?
No. My mother is an athlete, but she didn't participate. I think the first time she saw me run was probably about maybe about 98, 99 around there. Because she wasn't into sports. The good thing about her, she never stopped me. All she tell you, anything happened, do not disturb my sleep. So if you break a leg, you break an arm, wait till morning, okay? Do not disturb her sleep for no nonsense.
Now, you're speeding up. You're one of the fastest men ever to run in your 30s and in your 40s, dropping sub 10 seconds. What is the secret?
Man, listen, it's just you controlling your ego. It's that simple. Now, a lot of times, everybody, they go out there, they want to run fast. Yeah, I get that. But you don't just get up and run fast. Even so, you start training, maybe you start training August, September, October, and you want to run fast. And the race doesn't start till, what, April, May, outdoors? And you peak in June, as some people call it, which I think is nonsense.
When they're trying to make that team, you know?
No, listen, when you say, you got to be careful what you say. I listen to my body. There are days when I don't feel like training, I don't go. Other persons are different. But the mistake people make, they say, oh, I want to peak at nationals.
Mm.
Now, for months, you're telling your body, at nationals is when I want the best.
Mm.
And sometimes the body delivers. You peak at nationals. You know what happens after that? You go all the way downhill. So you see
Mm.
a lot of people, they come to make the team and they get to the championships and you wonder what the hell happened. You
Mm.
told your body for months, this is what I want you to do. All you need to do is be healthy at nationals.
Mm.
Okay, but people want to peak at nationals, forgetting, hey, we have a championships coming up shortly after. And that's when you want to peak if you feel like it. But my thing is to always deliver what my body can deliver as consistent as possible. And people look at it different. They look at, I want to peak here, and then whatever happens after.
Mm. Now when you won the world title, that is different from most people on the planet because you are the first world champion from your country. How did your country treat you? Did they treat you like royalty?
Um, they did for like the first few minutes of it.
Oh,
Nah,
come
nah,
on now. You
nah,
know they treated you like royalty. Stop it. Stop it.
nah,
Don't do
nah,
that. Don't
nah,
do
nah.
that.
Listen,
You know they treated you like royalty.
man,
How was
listen.
that feeling?
No,
Like,
no, listen.
with your
I
family,
I had
your
to.
mom and your
No,
dad watching
no,
you come
no.
home.
My
You know what
mother,
I'm saying?
my mother.
Tell us, take us through that.
Okay, my mother, my father is still unknown.
Yes. Okay, well, mom, how was mom feeling? I know she
Listen,
was proud.
you couldn't speak to my mom. She was over the moon. No, like,
Yeah.
okay, listen. This was a long time ago. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
Now, I'm in Europe and they want me to come down, so I had to cancel all my other races.
Okay.
One of them, of course, was Brussels. I could make it, and I'm like, I need to finish my season, but they say, oh, you need to come now, and they have all these
Yeah.
plans of stuff. So they try to get me to come down, and I'm saying, well, shit, I'm world champion now, at least business class, you know?
Yes.
Sexy
Yeah.
me up, man,
Right. The
yeah.
business.
So
Yeah.
it was a hell trying to get that done,
Yeah.
but it was done. But the thing was, it wasn't about me and my family. It's all it was about the politicians
Mm.
trying to look cool.
Mm.
Now, the people came out. No,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
understand.
You
That's
know they
what
gonna
is
come
that
out
the
there.
people came out. That was the biggest gathering ever. I
Yes.
mean, the people did come out. Okay.
Yes.
We had a motorcade. We had a little ceremony at the airport, of course, and then there was the family there. But the family is trying to be in a certain spot, and they're like, no, well, we can't have the family there because it's not about that. But they wouldn't tell me
Yeah.
this is what was, if my family had told me what was going on, I would walk. It's like, no, you can't disrespect my mother like that.
Right.
But they
Right.
wouldn't tell me, and I cannot act on information that was not given.
Ray Carroll said he put St. Kitts on the map. Yes, he did.
Literally,
Yes.
literally. Because no, that is a crazy story.
Man.
Because I had a press conference in Paris after,
Mm-hmm.
right after the race, and shit, reporters like crazy. I mean, it was very intimidating because now you're gone shoot up and the lights really was just in your face.
Yeah.
And one reporter asks, hey, where is this country, St. Kitts and Nevis? So I
Mm-hmm.
walk over to the map to look for my island, and lo and behold, it wasn't there. So I borrowed a pen
Mm-hmm.
and I looked for where we're supposed to be, and I went and said, that's where we are.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand, we don't want to go into certain things of it,
Right.
but there's still some people that will make you feel insecure about what you do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I explain to people, especially the young kids, I tell them, I feel like Lightning McQueen. Kaz, he's a one
Yeah.
man. He's a one man. He's out there by himself.
Yeah.
So I'm doing NASCAR. I'm driving my car, but I have to build my own car. I have to pump
Yes.
my own gas, change my own tires, and beat the guys who have a team. And I did that. And
Yes, you
in
did.
my opinion, that is why some of my competitors respect me. because
Absolutely.
I don't have the team they have. I
Yeah,
don't have the
me being one of
team.
your competitors, you're absolutely right. I respect you to the fullest. That's why I'm glad you on my show, man, telling your story, your perspective,
Right.
because
But
we have a lot of world champions out there, but there are not a lot of world champions like you.
listen, you got to be true to yourself. But to fully answer your question, remember, there's a lot of things put in place by every country in the world to help its people. Whether
Right.
it's sports, whether it's you lost your job, whether it's whatever it is, there are a lot of programs put in place. I never benefit from my country financially for doing that. When I
Now,
when I was training,
mhm.
there's something called the Olympic Solidarity Scholarship.
Okay.
My Olympic president refused to give it to me after going to 6 Olympics.
Mm,
Okay? Because I
yeah.
wasn't the favorite. Because you trying to control me and there's no incentive for me and you. No.
Mm,
So the thing was, I wasn't the guy that they could say, hey, do this, say this, and we get along. Because I give you a crazy story. So after one, and I went home, they gave me a security guard.
okay.
I said, dude, no, 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 not this guy. I go anywhere on this island more than any politician, more than any gangster. I go wherever. I'm Kim Collins. He said,
Yeah.
no, I have to follow you. I said, listen, man, I need to make a flex. Gotta go, just say, no, I gotta follow you. I said, okay, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back. So I didn't do like 15 years later. He's telling my wife, man, this guy almost made me lose my job. I'm supposed to watch him. I don't need security. I don't need
Right.
security. I just want to go about my business like any normal person.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. And I respect the politician
Hmm.
down to the guy who picks up my garbage because we're all human beings and we all have love in our heart. So I'm not
Absolutely.
going to disrespect you because you have a certain type of job or certain letters behind or in front of your name. It doesn't matter. We got to love each other as human beings, man.
Absolutely. Now, you made a move to train in Jamaica. Tell me, with Usain Bolt, tell me, what was that experience like?
Listen, good to have you. Good, good. Welcome. Now, remember, I was a champion at the time. So
Yes.
you got a
Absolutely.
chance to help to motivate the youngsters. Don't worry, pool man. You get a
Yeah.
chance to help the pool, not the pool, the youngsters. And
Yeah.
you see them coming. But for me, I understand what it takes to get there. And these guys, in my opinion, listened.
Yeah.
They, they listened because remember, the other two world champions from the Caribbean were both my training partners,
Yeah.
both Usain and Johan Blake.
Johan Blake and Bolt. Right. So you're basically one of the mentors to the future champions at the time.
Right, but these youngsters don't listen. They just want to get it. I'm like, it doesn't work that way in this earth, man. They just want to race. And I'm saying, you gotta learn.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing now, you had to learn to do.
Mm.
Whether it's walking, talking, putting on your own clothes, brushing your teeth,
Yes.
you had to learn all of that stuff. But they want to disregard that and do because I learned recently that the race is easy to do. But to
Mm.
train for the race, nobody wants to do that.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you have any kids?
Your boy been
I mean,
busy.
I know you do, but you
Yeah,
don't have any
yeah.
kids.
I have six, allegedly seven. Don't quote me on that.
Good. Are you passing the baton down of greatness to them?
Man, I have a son with my wife that just turned 14. He can be awesome. And
Yes.
he's shown that he can. And once he applies himself, like I've never tell him to do it. He come and he said he wants to do it. I'm training him now. He's doing very well.
Great.
I mean, he get a lot of compliments in the gym. And I have a daughter who is going to turn 12 on Christmas Day. We call her fast.
Nice.
We call her fast twitch. She is just totally, totally
Yeah.
different. She don't play. She don't like losing. Sometimes I have to calm her down. But when she get out and she get up, ain't no catching her. And you know, based on what I know the sport to be and what I've been through, a lot of us will not put our kids in those situations that we know it's difficult. We know what it takes, and you gotta have that love that's gonna take you through it. Because a lot of people quit because they don't really love it. They're just trying.
Yeah.
And some people are fans. There's some fans who are trying to be an athlete, and they get offended when I tell them you cannot be a fan of the sport, and they don't understand. And even when you explain to them, now let me explain to you. This guy could tell me, oh, you know, Kim, I remember in Edmonton in 2001, the weather was this and the wind gauge was that. I'm like, dude, who cares? You're telling me you want to, that is not important, okay? Or if you want to have pictures of people who you want to beat or you're looking up to them, I said, no. The only time you're allowed to have a picture of your competitor in your room, if you're using it for that practice. And a lot of people say, oh, that is harsh. I said, listen, you're only allowed, I'm a man, I'm only allowed to have a picture with another dude that I'm competing with unless we either in the race or on the podium.
Right.
No other time.
Yeah.
So they're out there begging pictures and autograph before the race and wonder why they're losing.
Facts.
I don't know,
now,
man.
I got a question for you, a personal question.
Yeah.
I know you to be one of the fastest 100-meter guys ever. Why didn't you run more 200s and compete in more 200s? Because you are your first medal was in the 200. But why didn't you run more 200?
I don't know. Listen, man, sometimes you're out there and you have a plan. And sometimes the plan change because of outside information and preparation.
Right.
Now you gotta understand it's not easy being Mim Collins because there's so much going on in your personal life that really really affects you. Right. And one of the things is you have to understand, like becoming a world champion from my country, that changed my life in many ways that I can't explain everything every time. It was just, it's a life changer. And the difficult thing was finding a mentor who can point you in the right direction, who can help you, get you certain situations and understand certain things about life and what you're going through and what is expected. Now, I did have some help back in the day, but here was the thing. Guys like Gregory Harton, Beverly McDonald, Dan Rose, Sandy Richards, people back in the day, you'd be around them and you'd ask them some questions.
Yes.
But I did not ask what is supposed to happen when you win. I did not ask that. I asked about training, what's for your coach, and they talk about, your Nike or Adidas is paying you. You have to watch your behavior and your mannerisms, certain things you can't say. You're representing the brand. You can't wear the competitive. You can't wear the competition stuff. Yeah. When you decide with Nike, you can't wear Adidas. I mean, I almost got in trouble when I started with Nike in my later years, and I put in some shoestring that was Adidas, and my manager got an email like, hey, those shoelaces looks a little bit Adidas. So somebody is watching my shoes.
Yes.
So listen, so if you're out there wondering if they're watching you, you make any mistake, I got a warning. You might get that scissors down your contract and your pay cut in half. So
now,
it's very important, kids. Whether you're adult now, you need a mentor. You need somebody who's been there, who can guide you, and who have your best interest at heart. That is important.
Facts. Now, you have so much wisdom. Are you writing a book?
I actually started two.
Nice.
At the autobiography, but the thing about the autobiography, man, whenever you think it's done, something else comes up.
Because you're still living through the pages.
Man, I watch some Netflix specials, and believe me, man, I will top that. This would be like two, one, a Mexican soap opera, and two, it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions because it's gonna be crazy.
Nice. Nice. Now, do you think people can run 9.5 or 9.6? Do you think they should be people who run 9.5 and 9.6? Should they be put on a pedestal?
But it's all
Meaning,
no,
like, should
no,
put
no.
in elite class versus other people who have.
Well, some people would, but what it is for me, you gotta understand. I represent the common man. When I say that, there are a lot of people out there doing good, and I don't think they should be overshadowed just because they don't run 9.5 or just because they don't run 9.6.
Hmm.
You know, there are a lot of people out there. They're natural, they're clean, and they come in day in, day out, and they're out there doing their thing, and we forget that sometimes.
Yeah. Now, winning the world title, if you could do it all over again, what would you do different?
Oh. Wow, man, I don't even know where to begin. But I because I learned so much from that. I mean, I got invitations everywhere because you were the champion.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I could not honor all of them. I think also in 2005, I think I had a great shot of winning again, but I felt a little bit of tug based on what I went through after winning in Paris. As much as you want to win, it was like, man, it's a tough situation. But did I love winning? Of course. And it's not because you became the world champion. It's because every time you come to race, you come to win. Yeah. And for me, it was about that. I know I tell people, one thing I try not to do, show up my career, championship, Diamond League, whatever, do not look at the start list. Because information is a killer sometimes. Especially in the sport. Let me tell you why real quick. I know we got to go. You're going to look at the start list and you're going to say, oh, shit, Bolt at 9.5, Tyson at 9.6, Safa at 9.7, Blake at 9. If you watch that, your body cannot allow you to compete against them. So your brain just tell your body, you're just here to make up the numbers. So when you step on the line, not thinking about what they won last week, last year, you say, hey, man, let's do this. Let's do this.
Mental. Because
if people don't understand the power of the brain. People say, oh, my heart tells me. Last time I checked, your heart can't speak. But anyway, whatever.
Right.
They tell us the brain is what controls. When you feel pain in your leg, the brain is what sends the message, say, hey, pain is in the leg. But if you tell yourself, man, Bernard, he ain't nobody, I could whoop him last week, whatever.
Yes.
You know, you got to give yourself a fighting chance.
Facts. Now, champ, who do you have picked coming up this in the next 9 months to win the Olympics in 100 meters, 2024? Who's your number one pick?
Well, I don't go with the favorite. I'm always looking for that upstarter.
But do you think that there's a favorite out there nowadays?
I mean, everybody got to have no Nice as a favorite. A lot of people have him as a favorite, but there are persons who have shown they have what it takes. Now, I'm not following much, but I see a lot of persons now changing coaches all over the place. Yes. That sometimes proves to be a problem when you change hands and you got to get to know and trust this person and their methods. Sometimes that proves to be a problem. So, persons changing hand could be a problem. It could work.
So who are some of the sprinters you watch nowadays? Some of the young sprinters that you kind of like watch nowadays?
Man, there's not much I see that really have me thinking that, you know, it's not just about the race. You know, people like a good showmanship. And I think Sha'Carri right now, she brought some showmanship to the sport. Absolutely. Now, at least don't understand something. It's not about your attitude. We love a good attitude out there.
Mm-hmm.
We love some good antics. I think Maurice Green take the cake with that thing. I think it was California with the fire extinguisher. That listen, nobody has topped that yet. I don't care. Nobody topped that yet. That was
man.
amazing.
Larry Wade, come on.
And that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. But here's the thing: your behavior is what counts. I've seen athletes come, and I told we at the meet, and I said, listen, this person, they're not gonna last. And he said, oh, you're just being jealous. I said, listen, I'm watching the behavior, not the attitude. I'm watching the behavior. That is not a lasting behavior because they don't understand. Sometimes you go to a meet and some little kid comes up, hey, Bernard, can I have a glass? You say, nah, I'm checking out the double D's over there, man. What's wrong with you? But that kid is a nephew or son of someone who's paying your bill.
Yes.
And you don't know that. That is your behavior.
Yeah.
That is what going to cost you. And a lot of athletes, they're not being mentored into this sport. So
Maurice was great. He always would talk to the crowd, and he was always a good person. And
he told me the same thing too. You can't be a certain way to people. I'm not going to say it here. It might sound bad, but he and I respect him. I have a lot of respect for him. One, when I was in college running at Texas Relays, he would always say, hey, Kim, good job. At the time, I didn't know good job mean watch your back. And we was at a race somewhere, could have been Helsinki, because it was a long way to the track. And dude, this is Maurice Green, man. He got his own car to drive him to the track when everybody else is walking.
Right.
And he said, hey, Kim, come on, man.
Right.
Yes, sir. You know, that made me feel, man, listen, that was totally different, man.
Absolutely. And you know, and game recognized game from one champion to another champion, you know?
Hey, we're going to line up and somebody's going to win.
Right.
And then we're going to go to the club and have some fun.
Yes.
And then next few days, we're going to do it again. Listen, I can't hate you because you win today. We know one person was going to win. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to play a word association real quick. I know we got to go in a little bit. So word association. So I'm going to say the word, and then you just let me know what's on what comes to mind when you hear that word. You don't have to say the word. You just interpret whatever comes to your mind, all right? All right, here we go. The first word is Olympics.
Champion.
The next word is family.
Family man.
Nice. Next word is cartoons.
Family guy.
All right. I just knew it. I knew you was going to do it. Yeah. That's right. All right. How about Amsterdam?
Oh, red light. I'm sorry. You can't say nothing else.
Arizona.
Grand Canyon.
Nice. Greatness.
The greatness maker. Aside somewhere.
All right. St. Kitts.
Tim Collins.
Nice. That's what I think when I think of kids. All right, so now this next exercise, this next game is either or, and you have to pick either or. All right, so you ready?
I hope so.
Michael Johnson or Usain Bolt?
Oh, easy. Usain Bolt.
All right. Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Dude, I got my eyes on a Lambo, dude. I hope yeah. I don't know why, but I see some I'm out here and I see tons of Lambo. I'm like, I'm gonna drive one of you before I die.
Right. All right. Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow?
I will go Storm Shadow. Snake Eyes don't sound right. Sorry.
All right. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Man, I gotta go with Jordan.
Okay. Pizza or spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Shelly Ann Fraser Price or Elaine Thompson era?
Oh gosh, you got me in a sandwich, dude. That mean a sandwich. Yeah, I would call that a sandwich.
Which one?
Which one?
Yeah, you
No,
gotta pick
I'm
one.
still stuck in the sandwich. When I get out, I'll tell you.
All right, we'll skip that one. Gail Divas or Jasmine Camacho Quinn?
Oh my gosh. It's a tough one, dude. But I'm old school, so I gotta go with the Gail Divas.
All right, okay. Now, would you rather be feared or loved?
Love. Love.
Okay.
Love. It's
Uh,
all about love, man. And love conquers all.
yeah, absolutely. I agree. So now, who are your top five, like your Mount Rushmore
Mhm.
of 100-meter sprinters on your list?
Wow.
All time.
All time.
Yes.
Wow. It's a tough one, dude. Because,
Yeah, man.
well, let me tell you why that's tough before I answer. Remember, I've been around the era of, what's his name? When guys like Dennis Mitchell were running, Leroy Burrell,
Yeah.
Mike Marsh, all these guys have been around with these
Yes.
guys. John
Yes.
Regis, I raised him, Linford Christie,
Yes.
Donovan Bailey, all the way up to Usain Bolt,
Yeah.
Maurice Green,
You
Justin
know,
Gatlin, Christian
yeah.
Coleman,
That's
Noah
why
Niles.
this
Listen,
question is very important.
wow. Top five. Okay. When I was coming up, the guy to look up to at the time was none other than Donovan Bailey. You got to put him in there. It's
Yeah.
tough. I have to put Ben in there. I never raced Ben,
Yeah.
but Ben was, listen, he was fearless and he was a monster on the track. And
Yeah.
that was a type of behavior you don't see anymore.
Yeah.
I got to put Maurice in there.
Yeah.
I think I raced Maurice a lot. And I think the only other sprinter I raced more was Mike Rogers. Me and Mike went at it for some years, man.
Yeah.
What we at number three? Well, you got to put
So
Bolt
you
in
got
there.
three. So you put Donovan, Ben, Maurice. You got two more.
You got to put Bolt in there.
Yeah.
And shit, dude, that's a tough five, man. But I got to put a Safa in there as sub 10 king.
Mm.
Mind you,
So
it's a long list.
you put a Safa over Tyson Gay?
I mean, Safa won the most sub 10 than any man on the planet. I think he won more sub 10 than all the other men in the world put together.
He did do that. He did do
So
that.
he has to be in there.
But he went 10, but he wasn't the most feared. Like, he didn't
No,
win.
of course not. No,
He didn't win
no.
those championships either.
No, because like there's a book that I recommend. It's called
Yeah.
Nerve by Taylor Clark.
Okay.
Nerve. And it
Okay.
talks about people who are good. You're a good athlete, but on the day you choke. But there are people like me that Diamond League 10-1, 10-0. Olympics 10-1, 10-0. Good day, 9 points. I will consistency.
Yes.
And I try to explain to some athletes to read it and understand what your fault is and how you fix it. So, but to backtrack, there's 3 books I recommend to my athletes. The first one is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. That helps you understand you. Okay? You need to know you, and you need to know the you that the other people know, that your friends know, that your competitors know. Because some of us know a you that you don't know. So then the know about competition. And there's the other one, Blink, Malcolm Gladwell, that teaches you how to look at people and judge them and know when you're in the game, when you're not on the game, when you're having a great day, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So now you're from the old school and you use basic fundamentals. How do you feel about the toe drag when people are pushing out of the blocks? What is your opinion on the toe drag?
Well, funnily, I've seen people trip and fall. and I will laugh. Now, no, listen, it's not the toe drag.
Yes.
People misunderstand. The concept is low heel staying low to the ground. But
Okay.
people go in excess and drag their foot.
Right.
Literally. So if you think literally dragging your foot is going to make you run faster, power to you.
Right. 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 Now, how do you feel about the block starts with both knees down on the ground?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they're doing this thing where both knees are on the ground, but then when they come up in the set position, the angles kind of like, basically look the same.
So it's a rule now, both knees on the ground?
Well, it's not a rule. It's just people are using this particular start style with both knees
Well,
on the ground.
nobody that I will be coaching will be using that.
Okay,
No,
yeah, but this is
no.
great because I'm sharing with you how people are using different techniques, and I always love. I ask Maurice some of the same questions as well, and I'm glad we're getting a consistent. You, myself, Maurice, a lot of people who know the fundamentals of sprinting, we're getting some of the same consistent answers.
No.
So,
What you need? You need the bullet belt.
the bullet belt is great. Yes, absolutely. Now, do you believe that strength training is very important for sprints and to run faster?
Oh yeah, very important.
Okay.
Very, very
Because
important.
you've always been a lean body, and you've always been someone who was very sharp and explosive without being one of the biggest guys in the field. What keeps you consistent at being lean, and what do you think your strengths were to beat everybody to be world champion?
Well, what my wife did was get me stronger because the speed is there. So I became a stronger athlete, and I think when I peaked at 40 is because I found my perfect pound to power ratio.
Nah.
And the body, because a lot of people out there trying to get stronger.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and bigger. But here's a question I always ask: have you seen bodybuilders sprint?
Right.
Funniest thing, but sprinters want to be bodybuilders. Now the shot putters, them boys explosive. Them boys will give you a great 40 meters, but do they look like bodybuilders? No, but they're still strong.
Right. Right. So how do you feel about a lot of the young kids getting paid through NIL deals?
Listen, I mean, we want people to get paid, yes, but once they have a mentor that can guide them, because what I find, even though a lot of people get help early, sometimes it cripples them because you have all the support, you don't find the need to go out and work hard because you think the money going to always come in. So sometimes, if you're not grounded, it can be a problem where you figure, I don't have to do anything anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're about to wrap it up, man. What is the one legacy you would like to leave for people? Like, what is your legacy?
Well, I did it clean, I did it fair, and I loved and enjoyed it, man. And I know if I decide to put the spikes on again, I tell my people in St. Kitts and Nevis, I'm coming back at age 50.
That's right.
Yeah. At age 50, I'm going to come back and I'm going to whoop everybody and show them I'm the real boss.
That's right. Well, thank you for joining us today, man.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure.
I'll definitely, to everybody, you can check this out on Spotify, or I'll definitely save it for everybody to see who possibly missed.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming
through,
man.
My friend. Send me the link. Send me the link. I'll post it as well.
Okay, will do.
Yeah,
Have
man.
a good one, my brother.
All right, bless up, boss. Peace.
Peace. Yeah.